Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up. It is the 28th of April as I'm filming this and I will post it the 29th. So there's a few days left, but I don't think that I will finish a book before the end of the month. So I'm going to go ahead and film this. In the month of April I read 3 books, which I am really happy with because April was a crazy month. But yeah, they were really good and actually all 3 of them were rereads. So obviously I loved them before if I reread them, but let's just get on into them. The first book I have to talk about is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. This is book 1 in the Infernal Devices series, which is one of my all-time favorite series. It is a trilogy, and I am rereading Cassandra Clare's books through audiobook, which is just a wonderful time. These audiobooks are some of my favorite audiobooks I've ever listened to. I love them so much. All 3 of the books have different narrators, but I have loved every narrator so far. And I just love this series and this world and these characters, and this is the best love triangle I have ever seen. It's one of those where you just love both of the men, and Tessa is great too. If you don't know, this is set in 1800s London. It's the Shadowhunter Chronicles, so if you don't know about that by now, just go check out Emma Book's channel, and she just talks about them all the time because they're like her favorites. But I think I prefer this series to the Mortal Instruments, but I love them both so much, and of course I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. By the way, I think I prefer Will. I felt that the first series, I love Jim, without a doubt, love Jim with my whole heart, but I think of him as more of like a brother, and Will as like the love of my life. The next book I have to talk about is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I read this through ebook and also part audiobook. I started reading it on ebook and then the audiobook came through on my library, so I just finished it on audiobook, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to reread the rest on audiobook just because I've been rereading series through audiobook because I can read them a lot faster, and since I've already read the books I won't miss any important details because I already know them. But this is a dystopian book. This is one of the original like dystopian trilogies from way back when. It follows this boy named Thomas who is put into this maze, and these boys, once every month a boy comes up into the maze with no memories, and there's these creatures and they have to try to figure out how to get out of the maze, and they don't know what's happening in the real world. You know how dystopians work. And I loved this series when I first read it. I was one of those people that loved it. A lot of people didn't like it, but I always loved it and I still really enjoy it. This time though, I knocked my rating down from 5 to 4 stars. As I was reading it, I was like, I must have been really oblivious to all of the foreshadowing and details. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but still, so many of the things that are said and written in here, I'm just like, that's so obvious, like what it's leading to. I love the characters, Thomas and Minho and Newt. Newt is like my child, but I stand by this opinion since I read the first time to now. I hate Teresa. Don't like her, cannot stand her. The world would be a better place without her. That's probably really harsh. But as soon as she showed up in this book, I was so annoyed. She was in a coma and I was annoyed. So I'm like, I just don't like her, and I'm probably biased because I hated her the first time I read the series, so I already hate her. But yeah, I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. And this is going to be a short wrap-up because the last book, yes, I'm already at the last book, is Clockwork Prints by Cassandra Clare. This is book 2 in the Infernal Devices, and once again, super great. I never get bored in this series, and you get to find out more about Will and why he is the way he is, and just like relationships develop, friendships develop, all this great stuff, and there's just a lot of scandals involved, demon pox. It's so interesting. I can't go into much detail about this because it is the second book, but also like if you're planning on reading all the Shadowhunter books, start with this series. That's my recommendation. Other people might recommend something different, but I say start with this series and then read the Mortal Instruments. It's great. I love it. I give this one 5 out of 5 stars as well. So these are the 3 books that I read in the month of April. I have loved rereading old favorites. It's just been a great time, and I am planning on continuing. I'm actually in the middle of Clockwork Princess, which is the 3rd book, and then I'm in the middle of some other like rereads through audiobook, just because with a full-time job, it's so much easier for me to listen to audio because I work an hour and a half away from where I live. So I have so much more time to do that than read a physical book. So I've been rereading a lot of old books. But I love these all. I had a great reading month, and I hope you did as well. Let me know your favorite book you read in the month of April, and I will see you next time. Bye!